Hey guys! Welcome back. This is Jameson from PrettyYoungTarot, and I'm here with another pick a card reading. This one was per request, which is going to be a reading about who is your soulmate, what are they like, do you know them, basically everything about your soulmate. So I have prepared 5 decks, group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and group 5. I'll give you a few minutes to go ahead and look it over. Pause the video if you have to choose your pile. Can get you in a little bit closer here. That's probably a better angle for you. If you are new here, my name is Jameson. I am an intuitive psychic. I have been practicing for about 3-4 years now. Just recently started up my YouTube channel to hopefully be a light worker and also shed some light on situations that people like you and also people like me want to know about. So I hope you enjoy this message. If you do, please like and comment and subscribe if you'd like to. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump into my pile number 1. Alright, group number 1, what is your soulmate like? Ooh. Okay, so group number 1, your soulmate is someone most likely could be a Capricorn, could be a Leo, also just could be an earth sign in general. There is a lot of green here, so this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I am getting a sense here of, I'm not sure that this person is actually still here, like in this realm, in this dimension. I think this person had a lot of inner demons, because we have destroying angel here. We also have the devil sitting over here. And then we have emotional loss with the 9 of Swords. I think this person had a lot of maybe depression, anxiety. They experienced a lot of trauma as a kid. And I'm getting the sense that they were maybe abused as a kid. And so they're very slow to love and to open up and to be intimate with other people. So we have this card paired with the Knight of Pentacles. This person, I mean, if this could potentially also mean that you guys have forgiveness between you two that needs to happen, but I'm kind of getting the sense that this person needs to forgive those who raised them and who impacted their childhood. I think that they have a hard time moving on from these situations. They probably suffer from some PTSD and just pain that lingers from these situations. This person is very, they're very sweet, very kind-hearted. They just have, it's kind of like a misdirected youth sort of energy. They're still very young, emotionally and mentally, but they've experienced a lot. Maybe even with psychedelics, I'm getting they experimented with psychedelics and drugs. But this actually makes them quite a bit more introspective, but on the other hand, they tend to get trapped in their own mind a lot. This little buddy's hand is actually it's like a Venus flytrap, so they get like trapped in their head. And they have a tendency, it's like this cat here kind of looks like a sphinx, which is like related to ancient Egyptian wisdom, especially with like the moons here sitting on this comforter. But it's like they have a tendency to like stay in bed and like because they're mentally drained and they have like a lot of exhaustion from anxiety. Like this cat literally looks dead here, and they kind of kill themselves and because of their own thoughts. I am seeing for some of you, this person really is, there could be an overdose, or for some reason, like this person maybe was in like an accident, or maybe even drowned. I'm getting, that sounds terrible, but for some of you, I think that you do need to hear this message. This person is still around, and yes, they are your soulmate, and they do still help guide you to this day. We have the Eight of Pentacles here. So if this person is still around, I mean, even if they have passed, they were a really hard worker. They were very diligent, or like a really good friend, someone who they just, like, their biggest enemy was themselves. They have a very multifaceted personality, and they probably were really good with like hands-on like manual labor, things of that sort. Could have been into clock working. And I am getting the number 11 and 12. They could be born, like as I said, they could be a Capricorn, or even with that 11, they could be like a Sagittarius. Or they could, if this person isn't around anymore, passed away near like around 11:30. Something having to do with the time 11:30. Or that could be their birthday, 11:30. Is there 30 days in November? Yeah, there is. Okay. I had to go through that like little riddle in my head. I just think this person has a very complex nature, one that is really definitely hard to figure out because they have a lot of layers. They're, it's like a dark wood, like wooded area in their mind. They have a lot of like twists and turns, and this is because they have learned how to hide parts of themselves. I think that they honestly may have experienced having to hide and like escape in their youth, but they're very independent. They are very resourceful. They have like a magnetic electricity to them, and like they have a survivor mentality regardless of everything that they've, and as a product of what they've been through. I am getting Leo too, pretty strongly, but they're very practical. Like this is the type of person who, like, if you guys were down to, like, if you guys were in poverty or having, like, if you were struggling, this person would know what to do when, like, a lot of people wouldn't have any idea how to even go about surviving in those types of situations. They can be seen as an outcast. There is, like, a circus tent back in the background of this card. They could be, like, I'm getting abnormally, like, strong for, like, their stature. So I think that they look like they aren't strong, but they actually, like, are, like, physically and emotionally very strong. But yes, this person does have some healing to do, and I think that they hold on to these, like, grudges and past memories and things of that nature, and that is, like, their biggest detriment. They just, like, their moon has been really affected. I'm sensing mother also. Maybe, like, their mom was an addict and they were neglected in some way, and they do need to forgive their mom. There's a lot of healing. Like, this person has a very strong, like, emotional depth to them, and they do have a big heart. It's just so tucked away and locked away because they're afraid of getting hurt, or like being trapped again, or being like backed into a corner. But yeah, I'm definitely getting like Capricorn and Leo. Like, they're very, very pragmatic. They don't mind like putting in effort into like tedious things. They're not like super impatient. They're more grounded. And that's like, they do try to stay busy to avoid like their depression and anxiety, because I think this person probably also has a nervous tic. When they get nervous, I think that they bite their nails. They may have a child, or this could just be like a childlikeness to them. Like, I don't even want to, like, I don't think that they are oftentimes showing their immaturity, because I do think that it kind of lurks in the background. I don't think they let people get close enough to really show that they have immaturity. But if it's not a literal child, then their childlike essence that is like part of them is really prevalent in their personality. Probably they might have a quick temper, with this like fiery, I don't know if you guys can't see that. This like skull is like on fire, and they could be pretty venomous with their words if you do fight. But this is just like their form of like self-defense and protecting themselves, because they are afraid of things ending like not on their own accord. And that's why I think that they may have some what seems like control issues. But this just stems from feeling out of control a lot of their life. They also could have suffered a major emotional loss. Maybe their mom passed away when they were young. So like, I mean, yes, she could have been like addicted to drugs or something. This emotional loss in the person who has passed, I do sense that there is a person who's passed in this situation, because these things in the background here, they look like tombstones. But this person is definitely very complex. They are really deep, emotional. They could have hazel eyes, I'm getting, like hazel or greenish eyes, a darker complexion, or else like tans really well. Brunette hair, brunette or black hair, I'm getting, or bald, that's also possible. But yeah, definitely a really hard worker. Really getting the sense of this person is a hard worker. And they don't half-ass things. They're not going to put their effort into something that they don't like deem worthy of their time. And also the way that they dress could be like they're the type of person to wear out a pair of jeans. Like, they only buy like 2 pairs of jeans, and they wear them until like they have holes in there, like not usable anymore. They might even like have patches on their clothing. They don't care very much about like fashion and like pop culture. If they're into anything like media wise, probably like music, maybe like metal or like rock, and I think that they could be into like horror films, that sort of thing. They like Lord of the Rings. I'm totally getting Lord of the Rings here. Also Pokemon, that's super random. Yeah. I do think this person left home pretty young, and they just have resentment about not really having a childhood. And so they're skeptical of other people. They are skeptical because, as I said before, they are afraid of like getting hurt. But this person is like, they have a very sweet, kind heart. They have an innocence to them. They just have fear as well. But yeah. I honestly, like, this person would be really interesting. Like, they're so, like, multidimensional, multifaceted, and, like, it's, like, this type of person that you can talk to forever about, like, your life experience, and they have just, like, a really interesting perspective on life, and I'm, like, because I think that, like, all the struggle that they've been through has really shaped them into, like, such a beautiful, introspective, and, like, because of all of the struggle, they have the ability to, I'm not gonna say they always see the silver lining in things, but, they have learned to in some situations, because obviously they do hold on to some of the pain, but I don't feel like they don't have, like, ill will and bad intentions towards other people. They are a very strong person. The only thing I will say is they do have a temper, and they're learning to work on that, just because I think that when they were young they just did what they could, and they automatically get triggered back into, like, survival mode. But as far as, like, this, 'cause I didn't read this card, so this message probably applies. It says, holding on to resentment and anger is preventing or even suffocating your spiritual growth. Resentment is one of the strongest, most damaging of human emotions. The act of forgiveness in its own right is equally incredibly powerful, and it has the capacity to heal and transform. So I think if this person has hurt you, forgiveness is definitely in order. And they also need to forgive their past, because they wouldn't treat you like that if they have forgiven their past. But this person nonetheless is your soulmate, and they do love you unconditionally. There's huge unconditional love here, on both sides, and they're just growing as you are growing, you know? We're all at different points in our journey, and I know they don't mean to hurt you. Just know that they don't mean to act this way. They don't know anything else. All right. So that's all I'm seeing for you, number one. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. And I'm moving on to group number two. All right, group number two. What is your soulmate like? Okay. So I do see this person could have maybe a martyrdom or self-sacrificing tendency. Okay. So I think that you have history with this person, and you guys may be in, like, a period of, like, waiting things out right now. I think this person does have a pretty harsh, like, I don't want to say, like, super judgmental mentality, but they are pretty nitpicky. There could be Virgo vibes in here. Virgo, Libra, Sagittarius. They have a tendency to say things that they're honestly not emotionally invested in, but they cause conflict. Like, they kind of, like, have that Sagittarius Mercury thing where they say whatever comes to their mind, and they don't really, like, think about it. And it's just, like, yeah, they just don't think before they speak necessarily. But they are very critical. Like, this guy has, like, an eyeglass here. Very, very critical, and that's why they have a tendency to, like, I don't think this person has a lot of friends. I think that they are more of, like, I don't want to say a loner, but they just keep their circle small because they have very high standards. But this also can make them look like a jerk, and, like, they just spill cups out, like, people's, like, love for no reason. And they also have, like, a tendency to, like, not accept invitations, or, like, just seem, like, apathetic and, like, turning down offers, sort of. And I think that's because this person, like, has such, like, a vast, expansive mind. It is really hard for them to connect with people. I think that they might be a history potentially Native American. I'm also getting Native American. but they have like a very strong connection with nature. I think that they're not the type of person who needs people to like make them feel like accepted. They rely more on like themselves, and yeah, they are more like a lone wolf. And I think that they just prefer it that way because it makes them feel balanced. This person really, really needs balance in their life. I'm not sensing this necessarily was like because of a childhood thing. I think that they've just learned like over time that like it's not even like for control necessarily. They just like things to be a certain way. Like, as I said, it's like that Virgo energy of like being pretty nitpicky, having like a standard of living, having a standard of like for friends, and also like their routine. I think that this person has a strong routine and they don't like breaking it, because that routine is what makes them like feel comfortable. And I think this person might be into cars. And like long distance travel. They honestly might be psychic themselves. That could also be it. They could be just like an empath, and so that's why they're so selective of like who they spend their time around, because they pick up on other people's energy so much, and they have like such a pure vibration that maybe they just haven't learned how to like necessarily block out other people's energy, or like how to use their energy. They may not even be aware that they have these abilities, or if they do, like they've just like dipped their toes into this like spiritual aspect of themselves. But I do see that even their mom could have had abilities, and even grandmother. I think this could run in like the female side of a family. Even if this is a male, I think this person could have a strong like female energy to them, and that's like where they like these gifts are from their lineage. Let's see. I do think, because we have like Snow White here, they could be seen as someone who's like grumpy, you know, like the seven dwarves. They could be like something connected with the number 7. Maybe they are a life past 7. I'm a life past 7, so I do identify with this energy quite a bit. And people do think like I'm a bitch, or like rude, stuff like that. Just because I do prefer to stay in more. Maybe this person is a Virgo moon. I don't know. But it's just they don't like being exhausted. And this type of person isn't exhausted like from physical activity. It's from like mental and emotional activity. But this does cause conflict with the people around them, because I also think this person is working on something, maybe even a degree, and this is going to fulfill their wishes right now. There's definitely an influence on like higher education, higher learning, Sagittarian principles. They are investing a lot of their emotions and intellect into some sort of like education or like spiritual endeavor that takes up a lot of their time. And this also, like, I think that their friends or the people around them, potentially even family, see this as like they're like avoidant and they don't want to spend time with them, and there could be conflict about just how they spend their time. But this person just wants to get like as much done as possible, and I think it's very emotionally satisfying for them. It makes them feel like they're growing, and to have like an overflow of like to be around like-minded people. I think that they also really like that, like, and they feel most comfortable at school. But this definitely is a sacrifice of like getting potentially like money matters. I don't think this person like necessarily, like, they could work on the side, but I don't see them as like being like a baller or something, you know. Like the wealth that they have is way more spiritual than material, and they prefer it that way. They're very into synchronicities. They see a lot of synchronicities. They could also be like Hawaiian. I'm getting like a very golden skin tone. Let's see. Could also, I am getting brunette. Could be connected to rainbows in some way, but definitely somehow, I think, like, there is a strong, like, Hawaii vibe, or, like, islander vibe. They have a very, because over on the islands, they do, like, I don't know if you guys have been there, but, like, I've been a few times, they just have, like, a different way of living. Like, they aren't so connected to, like, time constraints, and, like, they value, like, family and, like, nature a lot, and they're way less materialistic, and they appreciate the water, like, nature. They're very connected to nature. I just think this person is, like, very spiritual and analytical and educated. I think, like, really, I'm getting a lot of history, like, literally, like, history. Like, they could, like, Odysseus, like, the Odyssey, like, they could, like, reading. They could be a reader. Could, like, fishing. Things that are more, like, what do you call it? Like, that's what makes them happy. Like, the types of activities that are more, like, to some people they would be seen as, like, being isolated or alone, or, like, but there's, like, a peace and, like, calamity before, like, that's, like, more important to them than partying and, like, drugs, and they just like their creature comforts. Yeah. So this card here, it says, taste before judging. I do think this person has a tendency to judge things harshly, like, critically, before they even try it all the way, but I also feel like people are this way towards them, and so this could be a learned behavior. I think that people often, like, look at them and, like, make quick judgments, and I think this person has just learned to do that based on how, like, they have been treated. But they are very protective. They're a very protective person of the people who are close to them. Yeah, like, they would do anything for you. This person could have moved 4 times. They could have had 4 houses. Maybe in their 30s. This person just has, like, different values than a lot of the people around them. I think that, and they also don't like conflict, but they have a tendency to get into conflict because of this, like, judgmental thing. Like, they're not the type to back down from a fight, but I don't think that they enjoy it. They don't really see, like, why it's necessary. They're definitely not the type to pop off, like, physically. And if you go against them in a mental battle, like, I'm saying a prayer for you, because this person is highly intellectual, and they also probably have a pretty strong grasp on, like, psychology and sociology. So I think fighting with them is honestly, like, a waste of time. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing. I can't really see anything else. They do have a purity to them. They like things to be pure also. They probably have high standards in that regard too, like sexual purity. They I don't think that they're the type of person to like sleep around. They see the value in like in how sacred like physical intimacy is, and intimacy in general. It's also just not something that is their top priority. They are just like really aware like of the poisons that are in the world, the toxins, and like I think they probably talk about this a lot, how you know, like media and like drugs and addictions like affect people, and how it's everywhere. Even like they may be vegetarian and really like only eat organic foods, because I think that they are conscious of like GMOs and things of that nature, like the bad things that go into their food. I think that they eat like a really good, clean diet. That's part of their routine. As I said, routine was important to this person. Yeah. Okay. Maybe a strong interest in like medieval times. Or like steampunk. I'm getting steampunk also. Okay. Well, that's all I'm seeing for you, group number 2. Your soulmate seems like a very spiritual person. Try not to say things that are judgmental to them, even and be like forgiving with them if they are somewhat judgmental towards you, because they don't mean to be that critical. They just want like what's best, I think. It's a very Virgo-in trait. Believe me, I would know. I was raised by 2 of them, and I'm a Virgo moon myself. All right, well, thank you, group number 2. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Please give me a big thumbs up if you did, and then I'll see you in the next pick a card reading. Moving on to group number 3. What is your soulmate like, group number 3? Okay. This person is shy, or else they come off as shy. I do think that this person is very financially stable, or at least they are about to be financially stable. They have a lot of passions. They might work at nighttime and maybe have kids. They have an old soul, definitely. They're very, very wise, like wise beyond their years, with the High Priestess, the Hermit, and the Night Watch. They've been through a lot of rites of passages. This is someone who is very, like a wizard, you know, like someone like a Merlin, even very, very in tune with like collective consciousness. Like if you had any question about metaphysics, I think this person could answer them. They have such a deep understanding of like how the universe works, and like magic and things of that nature. They may even be part of like what their career is in. I'm getting like, I don't know if it's like Georgia, because there's peaches, and I'm just like Georgia peaches, you know. They could be into gardening. Might like walnuts. That's random. This person has such a good grasp on like how the universe works. It's amazing. They have like they definitely are the creator of their own reality, and they know it. Like, I mean, a lot, like we all are, but I don't think everyone knows it, you know. I think that they do have a new idea, maybe like intellectual idea, that's going to bring in money for them. They're about to put into place like a new idea that is going to bring in abundance for them. I'm getting reference to like something related to their feet, like socks, shoes. Maybe they're a sneakerhead. They like shoes. And I do think this person has a tendency to like maybe push your buttons or like vice versa. I think that you aren't as like, you don't always want to talk about the deep, like intellectually stimulating things all the time, and this person seems to be that type of person. But they do have just so much knowledge. There's also a raccoon here. They're scavengers and very resourceful. They are quick as well. Let's see. I think this person is into like fantasy, maybe even like fantasy games. Wow, that is a really annoying noise. Could have lived by a river at some point, or they really like the river. Or they like camping, things like that. I'm not saying that they necessarily like they could do rituals out in nature, but I think that this person just generally likes being outside. As I said, potentially a gardener. So they do have the Six of Wands here with the vulnerability card. So this person could be just learning how to become more vulnerable with people around them. I think that I don't think necessarily this person had like a rough childhood. I think that they've just always been shy. Like they're just like that type of person. They don't let people in, not because of like necessarily pain and stuff like that. I think they're just like wrapped up in other things and like somewhat wary of like unfamiliar territory, which is like right here. So this card says, this is a confirmation that you're seeking to tread into the unknown, unfamiliar territory where decisions are based more on intuition than rationality. Don't let fear hold you back or allow a misguided sense that feeling vulnerable is somehow a negative condition. So this person could be teaching you how to be vulnerable, because I think that they have a very strong intuition and sense of like ebb and flow, which we have right here. But I do think that there could be a move, something related, like if this like business endeavor takes off, because there's like the choices and decisions cards, so there is like a weighing out of ideas, kind of like in values, something that they want first. Like, do they want money now? Do they want marriage now? Do they want spiritual growth? Do they want to like travel? I think that they're just in like a transitionary phase, or you could be in a transitionary phase of your life. Regardless, this person's going to be your soulmate. And they have been. I think you guys have a spiritual connection. I think you've been connected to this person, and they have like unknowingly guided you a lot of your life. Yeah, this person is definitely really passionate but like secretive about it, but they have so much like inside of them that they don't share, probably, or that could be you, because if they're teaching you vulnerability, they're teaching you how to like spread your wings and maybe go after this business endeavor, but there is like a sense of like insecurity on someone's part because they don't want to like jeopardize, or I don't know, you're still making that decision over there. You're going to be victorious in whatever you do decide. You are going to make the right decision, or they're going to make the right decision, as long as you like are willing to ask for help, because there are hands in this, and two of them are holding on to the staff. So I mean, you are going to have a partnership that's going to lead to helping you make this decision, but you will have like a lot of opportunities and people who want to help you, and I do suggest like taking their help, because this is going to lead you to prosperity. Yeah, there are 9 peaches here, which kind of is like the 9 of cups also, because like sweet, I don't know, I'm thinking about 9 of cups. And so you're about to go through a period of time where your wishes are fulfilled and dreams are coming true, and this is a rite of passage for you. Or them, always can go vice versa. But there is, like, you are protected spiritually. Your guides are with you always. You may dream about them a lot. You could see crows a lot. Someone's name could start with M. you're a very lucky person, whether or not you recognize this. You're super, super lucky. You have, just, like, you magnetize good fortune to you. And if that hasn't been the case, like, your entire life, this definitely is going to be a case in, like, right now and into your adulthood. Because I think that you have been, like, you've dealt, or they have dealt, a lot of their karma, dealt with a lot of it in, like, the beginning of their life. And so this prosperity, you guys could get married to, like, this could, I mean, definitely, like, divine partnership type of vibe here. Like, maybe in October, get married in October. I think this person loves Halloween. That's another thing. They're such a night owl. They're definitely someone, not a morning person, but that's because they do their best thinking and daydreaming and planning at nighttime. That's where they have, like they grow their roots, if that makes sense. I'm totally getting socks again. Why do I keep getting socks? But yeah, there's definitely, like, a very comfortable vibe between the two of you. You guys are, like, soulmates, definitely past life type of connection. The type of person that you meet and you just automatically hit it off, and, like, you feel like there's just such, like, a synastry, and, like, you guys have known each other for years. You may have met in the winter. I don't know, you could be thinking about living with this person, or you could live with this person already. There's just, like, a lot of sleeping going on here. I don't mean that you sleep a lot, but, like, I'm getting the message of, like, sleeping in the same area, or, like, they live in the same apartment complex or something, like, of that sort, like, same neighborhood. Could have grown up together, but, like, come back together after quite a long time. Like, the Knight of Swords and Ace of Pentacles, I don't know, could be seen as, like, primary school. Someone has long hair. Maybe black. Maybe silver. Copper eyes, or, like, hazel. Very deep eyes, very deep looking. Maybe, like, a Scorpio rising or something. I think someone likes snakes. Could have a pet snake, maybe. Not that they are a snake. This person is not a snake in any way. I don't think this person is really, like, they would never lie. They value the truth too much to ever lie, so if you ever worry about that, don't. Pale skin. I'm getting, like, Caucasian, probably. Maybe a little bit tanned right now because it's summer in some places, but definitely more like a porcelain, rosy undertone person. Could have a dog, maybe like a lab or like a husky. So I hope you like dogs. This person definitely loves animals. They could have been raised with dogs. You could have been raised with dogs. Not, like, major cat vibes here. I think this person, like, I think that the Hermit, the High Priestess, like, those sorts of more spiritual people have a tendency to like cats, so that's definitely not out of the question. But I do, like, there's a dog here of, like, darker colors. Yeah. Okay. Well, that is all I have for you guys, group number 3. I'm going to go ahead and move on to group number 4. Just let this person come around to you and let them open up to you. This isn't the type of person who wants you to be, like, all up in their business all the time, just because they are more of like a secret, not really secretive, but they keep to themselves a lot, and they need a lot of personal time. So also I hope that you're not offended by that. It's just something that they require to help them feel sane. Okay, so thank you so much, group number 3. I'm going to be moving on to group number 4. All right, group number 4. What is your soulmate like? I don't even know. You guys might not know this person yet. I usually flip these up right. That's weird. I'm just going to get them all set up before I flip them. So keep in mind, you might not know this person. Ooh, but you're going to want to. Oh, this person. So you may not know this person on this level yet because I think they're in a relationship, but they are your soulmate nonetheless. Okay, Leo, getting strong Leo vibes. Leo, Libra, Gemini. No, not Gemini. Cancer, maybe. Summer. I'm just getting like summer baby. So what is that? Like Cancer, Leo, Virgo, I think. But Libra definitely could fall into Libran category. Either way, your person is beautiful. Probably into art, something of that sort. They have a very fiery nature. They're super like vibrant, and like they may like the color yellow. I think that you may be having visions of this person. I don't think that you're in a relationship with them now, because I think that they are with someone else, but you could meet this person at a party and like you just like hit it off, and you like maybe could have been newly single, and I'm not sure that like initially, well, okay, so like water and salt. So salt dissolves in water. It's kind of like, I think this person may try to initially come off as like too cool for school, or like, you know, salty, but like that sounds bad. Maybe like if they lost at a game or something, they're salty, and then you guys are like flirting about that, and they just like dissolve into you, like that sort of thing. Either way, this relationship's going to be a huge success. There's going to be a lot of physical attraction. You guys might get pregnant right away, so be careful if you're not trying to have a kid. Like right now, I am sensing there will be 2 children long term. And you guys are going to help each other grow a lot mentally. You guys are both super mentally stimulating to one another and physically. This is a great connection. But yeah, you probably had visions of this person before you met them, dreams, or like even when they were in a relationship, you knew that you were going to be with them at some point, just because the connection was so strong even before you knew their name, like that sort of thing. You guys are both pretty financially stable. I'm seeing you have the 9 of Pentacles. Or there's like a truth that has been illuminated about your finances. I'm getting like someone might support their siblings. I guess there could be Gemini here, because there are 2. These are twins, but this is the sun, and the sun can be a Gemini card. I don't usually see it in this deck, but this could be a Gemini. But yeah, I'm getting like freshly single. Like someone was freshly single. They might like to ride their bike. Someone could have literally colored hair here in the situation. They could have blue streaks or blue hair. Someone's into like makeup, like with the Empress and like this. But yeah, you are going to be an excellent mom. You guys are going to be great parents. I do think you guys are going to have children. I think that that's inevitable. And that's just the truth of the situation. I think you guys are meant to raise kids, because I think you both have like probably a strong Leo energy. You guys are very creative. You guys are really good with kids naturally. And kids are like attracted, like drawn to you, and they're drawn to this person. Also, this person might have siblings that they had to raise, and they are really, really good with children. But yeah, you could have had to wait for this person to break up with someone, or this was just something that, like, it wasn't immediate. Like, I don't think it was like once you like met this person. I think it was like there was a little bit of a break in between there, but like, you're obviously the person that they're meant to be with. You are their soulmate. You do have the choices cards, which is when you accept responsibility for your life and the choices you make, you begin to tap into the power of your own spirit. You'll be able to listen and appreciate the intuitive wisdom that's inside you and apply it positively and constructively to the outside world. So I'm getting the vibe now that you could have been in a relationship when you met this person. And you dissolved into their energy. You were very attracted to them. They're very attracted to you. It's like, when you meet your soulmate, you know, it's like, regardless, like, you guys are going to be together regardless of whoever you're with at that moment. So you had to make a choice between two people, and maybe you were single, or you're single now and you're still waiting to get with this person. But this is it, as I said before, this is definitely inevitable. You, like, are beautiful. You have everything this person wants, like the Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, Empress. You have such like a strong nurturing quality. I think this person's really attracted to that. And you're strong. Like, you have like a lioness, like seduction, and you're fun, and you just like, and this can also go vice versa, but they may have just moved to town also, so I'm getting moved to wherever you are. And this party could have been an outdoor party that you met at, pool party. Someone could live in a brick building. You guys could have been, like, I think you guys have, like, if you haven't danced together, you guys will, and it will be great. I'm getting a different culture, maybe like a cross-cultural relationship. As far as hair color goes, it really could, I think that this person has some sort of colored hair, or you have colored hair. Someone has some form of color in their hair. Someone also could be blonde. But this person's going to feel like a wish fulfilled to you and to them as well. I think that you're really going to have your rose-colored glasses on, like, for a good period of time. Like, you guys are going to have probably a really long honeymoon phase. And you guys are definitely connected, like, because there's 6 moon buttons here. So that's like 6 of cups. There's like a familiarity, like a childlike, like, vibe between you two. Like, I mean, it's also the soulmate card, so like extra confirmation that you guys are soulmates. I do think this person's into fashion. They probably dress super well. Someone's just like so into like beauty and art, aesthetics, not necessarily like working out. I do think they're more of a lean person. But they are really willing to like put in the effort with you. The passion is just so strong. Even if you are a single mom, maybe they're willing to take on being the parent to your child, and they're going to be a great parent to your kid. They're going to be awesome with children. Very caring, very understanding, very financially stable. They're going to bring a lot to the table for you. Almost like the Peter Pan vibe. Like, they have like the never, like yes, they are like, they're everything that you could want, you know, like financially secure, but like a child at heart, and like playful and sweet, and like such a big heart. And I don't know, they make every day feel like summer. This is so beautiful. Very watery vibe also. So I guess they could be maybe like a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Cancer, I'm really getting Cancer here. But they want a family. They're very family oriented themselves. I'm sensing their father might be passed already. Yeah. And this could have happened when they were young. But I think that's why they are extra excited to be a father. Because the years that they remember with their dad are so, like, monumental for their growth, and they can't wait to, like, emanate that with their own children. Like, they're really stoked to be a dad or a mom. I do sense like a more of like a masculine energy here, but as we know, that can go either way. I think the only word of advice here is like, don't get caught up in the past. I think that there might be some like retroactive anxiety and depression, paranoia, things of that sort around like who they were with in the past, because you do love this person. The connection is so strong that like imagining them with someone else is killer. So just be careful to like avoid those like negative feelings and thoughts, because this person is definitely a wish come true, and I mean nothing's gonna break this bond, but it's just like unnecessary conflict. Because they don't even think about those people anymore. Like, they're not relevant. They're only here. This is a very, like, live in the moment person. They just want to have fun. And, they chose you. That's, like, what I'm hearing. Like, they chose you. They're going to choose you if you guys aren't together already. And you were just going to feel, like, a huge bath of, like, love. So there's no reason to worry about the past. Yeah. I think you prayed for this person. You definitely called this person in. I think you guys were destined to be together, but you had to go through some things, or they had to go through some things before you guys could come together. But once all that is over with, yeah, your prayers are going to get answered. This is going to be a beautiful relationship. Congratulations, group number 4. All right, moving on. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this message, please give me a big thumbs up and click that subscribe button down below, and I would appreciate it. I love you long time, and I'll see you soon. Moving on to group number 5. All right, my last group number 5. What is your soulmate going to be like? Very family oriented, very childlike spirit. They do have a tendency to emotionally withdraw from situations, or might just be like, could be emotionally manipulative at times, could be a Scorpio. So we have foundation and achievements over here, which is number 4. They're very family oriented. Even if they don't come off that way, they do want a family, and they want children, and they may already have children. Either way, having a big house or like a nice house someday is very important to them. Maybe they didn't have one growing up. They could have trust issues. I think that's, if anything, where this like emotional withdrawal comes from. Like, also there's a goat here, so it could be Capricorn. But they do have a tendency to emotionally withdraw from situations when they feel like their trust has been broken. This is mad, like not Taurus. Wow, I almost said Taurus. Could be a Taurus. But like Scorpio, there's Cancer over here too. They could have walked away from a relationship recently, or walked away from a Cancer, or walked away from like past feelings, because Cancer does have a tendency to be very nostalgic. I think that this person, like, they look really hard, but they're super soft on the inside. They just have like this like metal armor around them. But they're such a sweetheart. They have like so much love, and they are gonna be a great dad. They really want to be a dad or like a parent. I think this person came from overseas, somewhere like foreign from you. Starfish, something about a starfish. Just someone like SpongeBob. Patrick, someone's named Patrick maybe. But this person is very like striking, they have a very like majestic, like royalty almost like vibe to them. They are really like Rico Suave, like with their words. They know like all the right things to say. This could also be a Pisces. But they have like, and it is like a pure, it's like an innocence. Like they have, like whatever they say, it's, they truly mean it. I think that they had a really, I do think this person had a strong childhood, like a good childhood. They may be musically inclined as well. But they have, nonetheless, they have a very loving vibe, and they are willing to put in the effort. They have a give and take mentality. Hey, my cat's trying to get out. They may like pickles. Yeah, I'm getting October baby. Someone likes pottery, making pottery. Meow, meow, meow. Come here. I'm trying to get him just to quit scratching at the door. And you could have been, or they could act like maybe a damsel in distress sometimes. Like, I think this person has a flair for the dramatic to some degree, but when they're done with something, they're really done with it. Over here with this, like, the Chariot and the Eight of Cups. I do think that they emotionally invest a lot of themselves, but when they're done, like, they just walk away. There is a lot of 8th house energy, which is Scorpio, as I said. They could have grown up on a beach, or you guys could live on the beach now. Beach house. This person's very in tune with the moon, so also could be Cancer, but Scorpio is also, and Pisces. I think they have just like a strong connection with the ocean. They're very watery in nature. Let's see. I'm getting the number 5. You may meet this person in, what is that, January, February, March, April, May, or, yeah, springtime. You guys could meet in the spring, but I think that this person is like a fall baby. They may like tiptoe around you at first because I don't think they know exactly how to approach you, because I think that, I mean, they could be in like a period of emotional withdrawal and trust issues because of the past, or they think that you might be, I don't know, they're gonna seem like kind of rugged and rough at the beginning, but they will eventually reveal their like childlike spirit to you, and you're gonna see that, and you're gonna be so attracted to that and see it as like a very strong foundation and the possibility of having a family. I think this person does have a tendency maybe to overthink things. And like push people away. Duct tape. Did someone fix something with duct tape recently? They could wear a lot of red, or you could wear a lot of red. I'm also getting thinning hair. Sorry, that's somewhat offensive. Maybe a receding hairline. I think this person honestly might have like they like ghost shows, stuff that's like about like past history and like the hidden secrets of, you know, like, have you seen like those, like, where's the Ark? Like those sorts of shows. They may have just like grown up with that, like their parents may watch those types of shows. They're very interested. I think they like graveyards. It's like that sort of, like, they have like a spooky like vibe interest. Like They may be into like occultic stuff and like witchcraft. Also, I can't with this face. Just like, does this person have a black cat? Because maybe. Oh my god, he looks like this goat. Oh. Crazy. Okay. But yeah, I think that is going to take this person a while to open up and to really truly trust you. But once they do that, their give and take is super strong. I'm getting such strong Scorpio. Such strong Scorpio. They're a dreamer. They have a very strong like connection with like music and their inner child. I think they're very light, like they could be a light worker. They're very pure. And so like this reads, the love between a parent and a child is one of the most precious and deep connections we make during our time at Earth. Children start out as part of us, and from their first cries they establish themselves as a big part of our hearts. And I was just speaking with someone the other day, like yesterday, one of my witch friends, and she was like your life changes when you become a mom, because not only like is it the fact that you are a mom, but your role to that child is like you're the first heartbeat that they hear. And I was like, wow, that's so profound and so true. So they could be a mommy, like a mommy's boy, a mommy's girl. I'm very connected with their mother. Their dad could potentially have been an alcoholic or struggled with drinking. Either way, I think their parents are still together and alive. I think this person might like wine, like aged wine, like they're very, maybe it could be like a wino. Merlots, they like reds. They do have a tendency to put things on the back burner or procrastinate. Also maybe like when they get angry, they walk away from the situation. They like don't want to hear what you have to say. And this may be something that like really bothers you. This is part of their like emotional withdrawal. I think that you want to communicate with things. If anything, this might be what's worrying you, what brought you to this reading. And I do think you guys are going to be able to work through this. You guys have a very strong foundation. And they're just still growing and learning how to communicate. Strong connection with birds, fish, crows specifically, maybe even eagles. I do think this person is pretty independent. They are just very, like, they're a go-getter. Like, when they do want something, they put their all into it. And even no matter how, like, much physical pain they're in, they will go that extra mile just to ensure everyone's taken care of, because they just have that strong of like family morals. That could also be what this is insinuating, is like they take on too much and they could end up like hurting themselves because they like get too tired and burn out and like fall onto these swords, and they're just like F, you know. But they are very caring and nurturing. They're like a Capricorn in that way. They're great friends. They know what you like on like in the physical realm. They value like beautiful like architecture and strong, stable vibe. May have green eyes. Definitely mommy's boy, mommy's girl. Could be a writer or like writing. That could be their creative outlet, is writing. Like poetry, maybe, music. They could be a singer, songwriter. And that's why they're always listening, but not always hearing, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I think words have like a pretty strong significance to them, but when they do get mad, they don't want to hear it. But they are always listening. It's like the type of person who, like, I swear you can have a conversation on one side of the room and they like they know what you're talking about. They're just intuitive like that. Also with the King of Cups and the Chariot. But yeah, I don't think y'all are gonna waste much time on like the family front, like I think you guys will have a good family structure yourselves. Even if you don't have kids, like right away, the connection to like maybe live together, move in together is gonna be fast. You could be a Sagittarius or Capricorn, something like that. But it kind of seems like this relationship was like spoken into existence by like the heavens, you know, like if you can see in this card also, the moon is like blowing, like is sending ideas here to this person. So I do think this was like divinely orchestrated soulmate connection, also potentially for healing, because I do get the vibe that maybe you didn't have a good like family life, and so that's something that you look for in a partner, and you see that in this person, and you've walked away from like codependency and like relationships that like don't go anywhere. Like I'm getting the vibe like maybe you're with someone that you thought you were gonna get married to, and they never proposed, and so you're just like, fuck it, you know, like you want someone who takes you seriously, and this person's definitely going to take you seriously. Like they have that childlike spirit, but they still have that serious side and like rugged masculinity to them. Very hands-on, like kind of like a handyman, like Bob the Builder, he can fix it sort of thing. Yeah, very teamwork oriented, but also takes no shit, I think, from other people. But obviously when you're emotionally vulnerable to someone, that's a little bit of a different story. But yeah, just watch out for these trust issues. I mean, everyone has like some issue that like we need to heal. I think that you are going to bring healing to this person to show them that they don't have to be emotionally withdrawn, and like you are stable, and you will, like you can, like, they can trust you and you can trust them. And that's going to be like the most beautiful part of this relationship, is like you guys will have such a strong foundation that like even if you go out with like your girlfriends or your guy friends, like they trust you no matter what, because your imprint is so strong in them and they trust you so much. They're so thankful for you too, coming into their life. Yeah, because I do think that like you guys lift burdens from each other that like I don't know, there's like an essence of someone doesn't like doing some specific chore and they don't mind it. Like for example, my fiance and I, like I absolutely hate vacuuming, but he will vacuum. He hates doing dishes, so I'll do dishes, and it's like I don't mind doing dishes. It's like that sort of thing. Like there's such a good like give and take and a balance between the two of you. I do think you guys are going to go on travels together, maybe to Europe, because I think that you guys are both into architecture in some way. Yeah. Someone may have red hair, blonde hair, like reddish blonde, strawberry blonde hair, or towhead even. I think if you have children, they will be towhead. I think this person, like right before they meet you or before you meet them, like someone's gone through like a kind of like I want to say like dry spell, or like emotional dry spell even. I mean, yeah, like definitely goes with the emotional withdrawal, but there's like barren trees back here in the back of this, and then it's kind of like this guy's like standing in front of it. So like in the past, but like kind of like the nearer past, recent past, that's what I'm looking for. There was just like a lack of connectivity with people, or like intimacy. So I think that this is going to be really like groundbreaking and like opening, like cracking of an egg, for one or both of you probably. This is going to be a very strong emotional connection and practical. It's like the best of both worlds. But be careful though, this person does wear their heart on their chest, or on their sleeve. I think that they're sensitive. I think one or both of you are sensitive. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a great connection. Just watch alcohol intake, I will say, or drinking caffeine, maybe something that you drink could have a negative effect on like your emotional mental state. Also, if this person has walked away, they're definitely going to come back. Because, like, you guys are soulmates and you guys belong together. It's just they have... I think that that's related to maybe that, like, drinking issue or something. They may just make, like, rash decisions when they're drunk and they, like, leave and then they withdraw. But it just might take some time for them to come back around. But they will come back around with a Page of Cups moment being like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, Gucci, Gucci, goo. Like... I miss you, sort of thing, and it's just like a childhood thing. So there might be forgiveness that has to happen here. But yeah, this is what your soulmate's like. Perfect. So I thank you all for stopping by this reading. I really appreciate it. I hope that you guys found some insight as to who your soulmate is. If you guys resonated, please leave a comment down below, like, and subscribe if you'd like to. And I really loved reading for you, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.